I'm Roy. Let's talk about hypnosis. This information you're not going to find anywhere, but I'm going to share it with you. You don't think hypnosis exists, do you? Or maybe you think your mind's powerful and hypnosis has no effect on you. The truth is that most people have no idea that it exists, and the majority don't even believe that hypnosis is real. Today I'm going to share one of the most important things you will ever learn in your life. And if you pay attention to me, I will display to you some of the most hidden secrets in the entire universe, which will help solve your mysteries of telepathy. As a matter of fact, this is probably the most important data you will ever hear in your life. It's difficult in life to understand things if you don't really know how it is done or how it works. So in order for anyone to clearly understand how hypnosis works, we have to address some key points which will provide a logical gateway to how this is even possible. In order to get this, one has to understand their surroundings and how those surroundings affect them physically, mentally, and even spiritually. Let's address that. The physical is the body, whether it's mechanical or biological. The mentally is the mind, the mindset. The soul is the blood or the oil that runs through the machine or the person. And you can have a depleted soul or weak soul until you replenish it. The spirit is the electricity that houses this body. And so I want you to do a little experiment. Put your hands over your eyes. Both of your hands over your eyes. Shut your eyes. Okay? And you should be able to see light there, even with your eyes closed. What is this? This is sight that the human brain can pick up. And in many cases, you will be able to see radio frequencies, radio waves, and even that thing they call the ether. But this is really the truth. Now, if you can get in dark or something anytime, you take your two fingers, and don't poke your eyes out, because I don't want to be guilty of the audience, anyone poking their eyes out. And just move your eyelids, close your eyes kind of tight, and move your fingers across your eye and make your eyeballs move. You should be able to see the illumination of your eyeballs, and it will be illuminated. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your spirit that houses inside of your human body. And if you didn't get what I just said, go back and replay this. You can put your hands and cover your eyes completely and should still be able to see light. And in some cases, people are able to see pictures and even events as they actually happen. Now, we need to understand the physical connection. The first thing one must take into account in hypnosis is that it's very difficult for hypnosis to exist without having some sort of physical contact influence on your brain and body. So what is that? We have to understand what we are. We are sound waves. We are vibration. Everything is vibration, including God. Chemicals and drugs are key elements which physically touch us with or without our awareness. We have to understand what those things do to our bodies. Did you know that everything that exists is radio frequency, which simply means vibration, which simply means that everything is sound waves, including the absolute existence of what some believe to be God? Whether you believe it or not, everything's affected by sound, because at the atomic and molecular level, everything is in fact sound or vibration. Chemicals. Did you know that the human brain and body will react to all kinds of chemicals? Of course you know this. It doesn't take a genius to understand that chemicals affect the body. But did you know that there are a number of chemicals which will shut parts of the brain down while you are still physically moving and alert? No, you may not have known that, but of course you should know this. Yes, you do. Alcohol is a chemical, and everybody knows that that will place certain parts of the brain in sleep mode, but the person can be completely aware. But then when they come out of the influence of alcohol, they will have no memory of this. Why is this so? Because the brain has been triggered. One part of the consciousness is awake and the other consciousness is sleep. A person can be talking and walking just fine in reality, but mentally sleep, just like my audience are right now when I'm talking about this show. Let's get into it. Let's talk about a little more about this hypnosis. This is why people often don't remember what they did after they dream. or take alcohols or drugs, because the brain is one part of the conscious brain is sleeping while the subconscious brain is in automatic mode, and it allows you to interact with the world. You say, well, I am perfectly safe from effects of hypnosis because I don't drink, smoke, or do any type of drugs. Is that right? Did you know that most processed sugar will shut down portions of your brain even while you are aware and alert? In fact, if you consume sugar, most of the time you will have a spike of energy and immediately afterwards get tired and even sleep or even pass out. And in many cases, a person has no idea that they even fell asleep because of the immediate effects of sugar. Why and how? Well, okay, in short, it is not completely the sugar that's bad, but it's what is done to the sugar. The body usually changes sugar into glucose, and it's used as energy in the body. So what's shutting your brain down? Well, it's modified sugar, and they do this by bleaching it. They bleach bread. They put bleach. Bleach will destroy cell structures and almost anything, even kill out diseases, viruses. They put bleach. You saw any of the footage, the raw footage of the Ebola virus that was spreading, they sprayed bleach on this. So what happens to the brain? The sugar is like a fuel, and it uses a fire. So your brain fires all sorts of things, data into your body, and this energy throughout your nervous system, and it goes to break down the sugar, and all of a sudden there's bleach there which blocks the process of the brain. There's an explosion that goes on, and this triggers the brain, which sends a person into a comatose type of reaction, and this person kind of goes, their brain shut down, and they go into like a sleep mode, and this is what's really going on. In your brain, the bleach denies or blocks the brain from functioning. In fact, this flashing effect of the modified sugar is read by your brain, your subconscious and your conscious brain as actual data, and it usually comes in a form of light or a flash of light, and it's a literal flash of energy in the brain. This flashing effect is known to make people lethargic and even lose consciousness. I will address why this happens later, but in fact, there are many types of chemicals which do this to the human body. But the most common are sugar and fluoride. You say, well, I don't eat modified sugar, and I don't brush my teeth with anything containing fluoride, and I'm completely safe from hypnosis. Is that so? Have you ever heard of chemtrails? Have you ever heard of chemtrails, or am I just making this shit up? Yeah, exist. Absolute physical presence. And my advice to you is to put down the cell phone and put down the computer and get offline and go out in the real and stop listening to what people say and go out in the real world and see what the fuck is going on around you. Seriously. Aluminum and fluoride blocks. Thank you. Aluminum and fluoride blocks the brain. It cannot process in the body, and in some cases it will house itself in various parts of the body, the liver, the glands, and even in the brain, and the pineal gland, which is essential. The pineal gland is essential to real-time upfront awareness. The truth is, if you live on Earth, then you are continually affected by chemicals and drugs with or without your permission, whether you know it or not, and that's the truth. In fact, I'm going fast because I now have a lot to cover. In fact, there are many factors, but I will only name a few in order to stay in the dialogue of the subject of hypnosis. Here are a few factors you must consider. Your food, air, water. And they are all affected by chemicals, which often place your biological brain and body under seizure, and in many cases arrest, and in other cases a complete physical shutdown. Did you know that radio waves constantly exist and pass through your body? Let's say you live in a glass house surrounded by solid lead and enclosure, and you think you're immune to this. No, you forget something. There are two other factors. You're made out of sound waves, which is vibrations, and they exist on the subatomic level in all things. These are vibrations, and they are already inside of glass and lead. You say, well, how the hell would anything get through that? And there's a lot of possibility that a lot of radio waves wouldn't get through that. But this brings us to the most important factor, which I want to bring to your attention. These are secrets you don't know. But there is an absolute physical existence which must be accounted for. And this is what some believe to be the super translucent material they call the firmament. Others call it the Orion's belt, and a few see this as the Earth's dome. But in short, this is a superconductor of energy source which is much faster than that of radio or satellite transmission. And this is what is going on. There is a technology which utilizes quartz technology and energy, and this is influencing everyone that lives on the Earth. Everyone. This technology has quantum abilities. Thank you. This technology has. Thank you. This technology has quantum abilities which defy all current reality and ability against modern day technology. But in short, your watches, clocks, and electronic devices run off of this wireless technology. The Earth's sun utilizes this technology to completely manipulate and calibrate everything within this thing we call the Earth dome or Orion's belt. And this could be good and it could be deception. Time and space is being manipulated by quartz technology. And unless you have a full understanding of submersive electronic submersive systems, then you are going to respond to me ignorantly. And you may even deny that this quartz technology exists. So let me ask you this question. Do you own a watch, a microwave, a computer? Have you ever used anything that has a digital face? How about an analog watch that you turn and you well, guess what? You've been fucked too, just like the rest of us. You know now, don't you? How? Because it's radio frequency, it's wireless technology that's much faster than a regular satellite dish or landlines with the fiber optics and cell phone towers. This technology supersedes, and it could be that the government is trying to tap into this technology or block it. And there is a blockage to your mind and to your body through the use of chemicals and radio waves. So I don't care what you call this. They have access to your biological body and your brain. So let's get into what's going on and how hypnosis takes place. First, let's find the professional's definitions of hypnosis. Here it is from the internet. And everything from the internet can be trusted because it's always the truth, correct? Right? No, it's bullshit. We know better than that. But unfortunately, a lot of people trust Google Earth. And they trust these large corporations and think they won't lie to them. And this is bullshit. Question everybody, everything. Trust me, God is not going to get angry if you question him or it or whatever you think God is. Okay, let's continue. Let's keep going. Go. The first thing we need to understand, okay, let's get the definition. I'm going to try to read this. This come off the internet. Hypnosis is the induction of a state of consciousness in which a person apparently loses the power of voluntary action and is highly responsive to suggestion or direction. It's used in therapy typically to recover suppressed memories or to allow modification of behavior by suggestion. It has been revived but is still controversial. The dictionary says that it is the state of consciousness produced by hypnosis, an artificially induced trance state resembling sleep, characterized by heightened susceptibility. What the fuck? Blah, 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 blah. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I'm confused. No wonder no one knows anything about hypnosis. Assholes like this create these documents and these explanations of stuff they don't even understand themselves. Okay, so let's make it real easy for you to understand. Let me try my definition. Hypnosis is when the brain is activated to do things in the mind or body without notice. Thank you very much. How you like that? You like it or no? Easy. And the brain is activated to do things in the mind or body without notice. This often takes place when the manual, and that's the conscious brain, when you're awake, the awake brain, or the automatic subconscious brain, and that's the asleep brain, is triggered to override one or the other. Okay? The subconscious brain will override the conscious brain, or the conscious brain overrides the subconscious brain. Okay? It only takes pictures or suggestions to actually activate the brain to begin to go into hypnosis. And it only takes the ability to shock or surprise you or your brain to trigger your brain to go into hypnosis. Let's address this. The manual brain controls your physical actions and motions, utilizing your hands, your motor skills, your feet, and other body parts to respond to things you physically see with your 2 eyes, hear with your 2 ears, smell with your nose, taste with your tongue, and touch with your hands or body. This is what I call random access memory. It's on the fly. It's interactive to the things we do on a daily basis while we are physically moving and awake. Just like you are right now when you're not paying attention to what I'm telling you right now because you don't get it. This part of the memory is not bogged down with all the natural, sophisticated functions of the entire brain, which houses trillions upon trillions of memory banks, which controls all sorts of natural functions that the human body does on a normal and on a regular automated pattern, such as breathing, sneezing, going to the restroom. But don't be fooled. The manual, and we're talking about still the manual brain or the conscious brain, while you're awake and while you're like, if I ask you a question, you respond, that's your manual brain, that's your consciousness, that's you answering me. It has the power and ability to override and control everything in the physical body, including the subconscious brain. You could actually worry yourself to death, and you don't want to do that. That shit's bad. You can trick your brain into making your heart stop. Yeah, this is true. The automatic brain. Let's talk about the subconscious brain or the automatic brain. This is where all your complete memories are stored, including everything you do on a daily basis on the fly. It is the storage compartment or mass storage container which records all data. It is a tape recorder and it records everything, whether you're looking directly at it or not. It records everything through your ears, your body, the surroundings. This can even is so sophisticated that it controls the brain, it controls the cells, your body, your immune system. It controls a lot of things. Natural responses to cold, the breathing, your heartbeat. It's the largest part of the memory, which has such a vast number of things to perform at the same time. Now, you should understand what happens when the conscious mind, and that's when I'm awake and I'm aware, when it taps or gets triggered and taps into this subconscious brain. Now, I'm trying to take data in, but my random access memory or my forefront of my mind can only handle so much at a time. Let's suppose your brain is triggered, your conscious mind goes to sleep, but you become awake, or your random access memory taps into your subconscious mind at the same time. This is what happens when people go fucking crazy, like I'm going right now. But this is really what happens when people are considered a nut. They are tapping into the subconscious, which process everything at the same time. This can add confusion to your life and to everyone's life. And a person is known to go crazy and nuts when this happens. But in good cases of being able to handle some important data, a person can consciously be aware of things going on behind the scenes. How is this? This is what the transformation crowd means when they make the statement that people are starting to wake up, or the universe, or we're starting to wake up. This is what they're talking about. Seriously. Yeah. So this leads me to the secrets of hypnosis. Did you know that the subconscious brain interprets all data, including invisible data you can't see, feel, smell, touch, or hear? That the subconscious brain responds to sound waves not seen or heard or felt by the conscious mind? In many cases, the subconscious will send data to the conscious mind in order to protect itself from harm or to remind you of things. Did you know that the subconscious brain records unseen radio waves and sound waves and places it into the memory banks of your brain? And in extreme cases, the subconscious will respond to an emergency without your permission, with or without your permission. For example, if someone throws or something's coming at your eyes and it's going to damage your eyes, Your subconscious, before you can even look at it and think about it, your subconscious mind knows that there's danger there. And then a trigger, it's a flash. It's really a quick information. It goes in the form of a flash. That's a trigger or a flip switch. And what happens, that triggers your hands or your eyes. It's automation, and it will force you to close your eyes or move and protect you from that shit that was going to hit you. Even in this case, a person may not be aware of what just happened until after the fact. Hey, wow, you was cool. You dodged that bullet, or you dodged that. I shouldn't say dodge a bullet, but you know, maybe you're like Superman and quick. But hey, man, you got out of the way, or you shut your eyes right before the thing hit you. You know, hit you in the face and punch your eyes out. Wow, how did you do that? I have no idea. I didn't even know I did it. What's happening here? The subconscious brain picks up data and it protects itself. And this is an automated response. This gets into the secrets of why people do things without notice or memory, sometimes to protect themselves. They hear a voice, and in extreme cases, people may actually physically hear someone. You ever hear someone say, you know, I should have did that. I should have listened to my voice inside because, damn, I'm lost. I should have paid attention to myself. The subconscious mind is not pushy, so it reminds me of the female in the relationship, or the person who's submissive in the relationship. And they don't want to boss you around, but your bossy mind won't listen sometimes. And this can be a factor, and this can be an issue in your life. But in fact, the subconscious has the ability to see everything. The subconscious has the ability to see everything which displays. And this, even the radio frequency realms, own hearing, sound level, touch, smell, taste, sight. It also has the ability to read into invisible transmissions of the existence of what some call the ether. Some call it the matrix. Others say it's the universe or absolute existence of God. No matter what you call this, a person may be able to tap into this and not even be aware of it. And for example, you can you start thinking about someone and you wonder what's going on with them. And you begin to pick up your phone and he's like, hello, hello? And man, I was just now thinking about you. I didn't even hear the phone didn't even ring. I was thinking about you too. Wow, we were thinking about each other at the same time. What's going on? There is a system here. Wake up. I'm telling you that people need to wake up, that there is absolute physical presence of a system here. And that's what's really going on. So what is responsible for this? What's really going on? What people don't understand is that both parts of our conscious and subconscious mind works together. And it's when one or the other functions take over the other one or the other. It's not when I'm talking right now, I guarantee you that. It's definitely... It is actually when hypnosis happens, when the conscious mind or the subconscious mind is triggered. One part of the brain goes into sleep mode, and the other part of the brain goes into action. I shouldn't even say the other part of the brain, the other part of consciousness, because your whole brain and my whole brain is involved. For example, I will give you an example of what happens and how hypnosis takes an effect in dealing from one side of it that people are not aware of. But there are people who do things and say things and they're not aware of it, and they can be conscious or even sleep, and that's true. And you don't tell me you haven't seen this. I am teaching you secrets. For example, my cousin, when we were very young, she accused us of hiding her pillow. And we were having an altercation, and we were all blaming her because no one could find this pillow. And her brother spoke up and came into the crowd and said, listen, you guys, my sister sleepwalks, and I know she put that pillow in the refrigerator because I've seen her do it before. So we all went to the refrigerator and we didn't see the pillow. And then I went back, and then, you're not going to believe this, but it's really true. my subconscious mind was able, for whatever reason, I was able to tap into the system, and I actually saw her put her pillow into the freezer. Now, I didn't want to go to my cousin and show her that, because she's going to think that I did it. So I went and said, you know, look in the refrigerator again. And when she looked in the refrigerator, she said, that ain't there. I already looked. I said, well, let's look one more time. Maybe it's tucked under something or something. We don't realize it. Maybe it's pushed in on the very, very bottom. Did we look good? And then she looked again. It's like, man, I told you it's not here. And then she looked. I said, well, look up in the freezer. And she saw it. And then she was like, oh, my God, who put this here? And then we realized that, you know, she may have put it there, but she accused us. Well, I had seen that in my mind. Now, the next night, my cousin, we all go to sleep. And I'm alert. I'm in the deep middle of my sleep. But at this point in time, I'm looking in the house. I know I sound crazy, but I'm asleep, but I'm floating around in the house, and I'm waiting for her to wake up. And damn, she wakes up. So what I do is, my conscious mind, which is sleep, I wake up at the same time, and I follow my cousin into the kitchen. And while she was in there, I wake her up. She's standing there in a trance. She has no absolute idea. It took her about a minute or two to even recognize that she was even there, and put her. I was like, hey, you putting your pillow in the freezer? She couldn't even say huh. Her brain was, what happened here? Well, when the flash goes on, okay, it shocks the brain. And when the brain is shocked, it refuses to move to protect you. This is a natural response to protect you, because if your brain doesn't know where it's going, why jump and why move, okay? Am I making sense or not? No? So it stops you. You ever heard of the expression? Ah, yeah, he was frozen like a deer in the headlights, because, yeah, he didn't know what the, we got him. Yeah. There's a flash there. Even deers, when the flash happens, their brain, they can't respond. They're waiting on the next command. But the switch has been flipped. Normally, you can respond and move. But when the switch is flipped, the conscious mind, it's not responding. The subconscious is pretty fast, but it's not. In some cases, if you're relying completely on the subconscious and the conscious is not there, the response to the human body is not that fast, because the subconscious don't normally run the game and run the show when it comes to your hands and your feet. You better pay attention to what I'm telling you and teaching you how hypnosis really works. So the same like manner, when you surprise someone, this sends a molecular white flash into the brain, and a distraction does this too. The subconscious and conscious brain interprets these surprises as a flash of light, and this places one into a paralyzed mode. The brain is waiting for the next command. Now who's going to run the show? Wait. One side of the brain was told to sleep. So, well, I guess the part of the brain that's awake should take action, and that's what the fuck is going on when you go into hypnosis. Red, so they use colors. Red means to stop and be alert. Well, even when you bleed, your brain sends you into emergency mode, and you start to pay attention to the details. And there's a fire there, and it keeps you alert, and adrenaline pumps through. Your brain naturally does this, and also your conscious mind. And at the same time, your pineal gland could be activated, and you could actually defy reality by surviving when you've lost a great amount of blood. When you don't listen to me, are you? You're not paying attention. Yellow, that means to move with caution. And they use yellow to flash and to be aware and take notes. And also on the flashing, let's go back. You know, when you're watching television, they do this to you. They put you on a hypnosis. You say, no, they don't. If you pay attention to your brain and your eyes, you will actually see between commercials that they flash a light. And this puts you under a trance for just enough time to, they can flash a picture and put the suggestion in your brain. Oh yeah, I want to go get that big pie in the sky that I was been wanting ever since the beginning. Yeah, I'm hungry. Why? I don't know why I'm hungry. And ladies and gentlemen, they're fucking with you. Green, the color green is used in hypnosis to act out the actual hypnosis or data. So people sometimes dream in green, and green is used and to act out. When you go outside and you see the green grass, you want to run it, you want to take your shoes off, and you want to act out. This is really true. You act out the hypnosis. Blue sends you into hypnosis. And blue means, and I'm not, disclaimer here, I'm not trying to put anybody on the hypnosis here, but blue puts you to sleep. It means to go to sleep. Now, listen, what color is the sky? What color is the sky? What color is the sky? What color is the dome? You're sleeping, sleepwalking. I can go into details, but signs of hypnosis. Signs of hypnosis: slow blinking, slow response, extreme tiredness or sleepiness. These are some key points. Now, if you follow my website here, you will get the picture of what I've taught you. Now, this is how it really is. There is a quartz technology there that's simultaneous, and you in the dome, your pineal gland, your subconscious brain can pick up data, and you can think and do things at the same time another person is crazy. You think I'm crazy? Well, I am, but I'm telling you the truth. Telling you the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty much done with disclosing that data for you. I have other examples that I want to use for you, but if you pay attention to what I just taught you, you will learn, if you replay this, some of the most powerful secrets of how things are done. You can trick the brain. Someone is, well, how do you put a person on hypnosis? Well, you can say something to them, and then while they're answering you, say something else, or make mention of the weather or something like that, and that can trigger the person to go into a hypnotic state. And you can put suggestions there. I've seen people give money away and things like that because they are totally not aware of what they just did. And this could be detrimental, and it could be very advantageous. We don't know. We need to address the situation of them fucking with us through this fucking hypnosis. Seriously, that needs to be addressed. Okay, I was just interrupted, and that placed me under hypnosis, so this is why you had a little break. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make an announcement. I don't plan on in future recording any more serious situations like this for obvious reasons. I will never expose any organization or group. I'm not a turncoat. My rank was captain, and I'm respected by some people, and I'm also protecting people. But if you really want to know the truth, pay attention to what I'm telling you. I'm very credible, and I just want to help you. Seriously, I'm doing this out of love. I help soldiers, and I've helped people who have been in my situation. In my lifetime was under extreme hypnosis and influence, and I didn't know how deep the rabbit hole. I knew I had the ability to manipulate and run groups and organizations as a captain, and I could and I had a very effective in influencing and teaching hand-to-hand combat, but I didn't realize, I suspected that I was in the system, but this hypnosis thing is deep, and it can be serious, really seriously. In my case, it was. This does exist. I'm not the guy who's reading about this stuff. I'm the guy who's coming back to tell you about it. Like I say, I'm not going to disclose or tell on anyone or any organization. You'll never get that out of me, even with your highest, best technology. If I do it, it's because they wanted this, but I don't plan on it for the protection of a lot of people. But you have to understand that there is a quartz technology that exists that supersedes the satellite technology that the governments generate. Now, the satellite technology is there to jam your brain and there to place you under hypnosis. Now, I can give you an example of what happens in the human body while you're sleeping. Have you ever noticed in your dreams, a lot of times, especially when it's one of those dreams where you don't know, well, I shouldn't say one of the dreams where you don't know whether you're awake or asleep, because there's another technology here and about reality I don't want to disclose right here, but there are secrets that I have, and I'm hoping that I don't leave this planet without sharing all the secrets so you can get free out of this world. Seriously. I have been. I really, really do. But what happens when a person is sleeping sometimes? They have a really, really good dream. And they're dreaming about something that they like. And they're about ready to make closure on that dream, whether it's kissing a girl, getting a lot of money at a house, and all of a sudden, something bad or crazy happens. What's going on? The radio frequency is jamming your brain, tapping into your subconscious brain, and fucking with you. That's what's going on. And what happens? That triggers the conscious brain to wake up. Oh, Mom, I had a good dream, but it was bad. I was going to kiss this girl, and I don't know what the hell happened. And I was going to close the deal for the first time, have my first experience. I don't know what the situation you're talking about. But in some rare cases, the conscious mind wakes up while you're still sleeping and intercepts these bad thoughts and signals and controls the moment. And believe it or not, the brain does all the work. All it takes is suggestion. And you finally get that kiss, that first time, you get all these. This is what you need to do. You need to wake up on both sides of your mind. Part of it is by having knowledge of what is actually part of the battle. You ever hear G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle. Well, I'm talking about this right here. If you know about it, yeah. No, seriously, if you know about it, you can defend yourself. Seriously, you can. But what happens is the brain is triggered, and one part goes to sleep. Now, while you're awake, unfortunately, in hypnosis, most people are conscious, and it is very easy to distract people, and this puts you, it flashes the brain, and then that is the time that induction happens. And this induction is when they can suggest to you to do things, and a lot of times the subconscious mind will agree to a lot of things. And why? Because in the subconscious world, there's no, you can be in a dream, you can get blown up and still live, and still because it's not happening to your physical body. It doesn't cross over. This is why the subconscious mind has unlimited power that you can tap into, but also the conscious mind. And when dealing with the pineal gland, ladies and gentlemen, I'm teaching you, I'm telling you, there is a science, an actual physical science that can give you the ability to tap into technology that is there through the submersive systems. And I don't want to get into details of what that is. I have skills, and that I am not able to disclose, but I did went to college, majored in English for 3.5 years, minored in writing. Got out of that. I was also in religious studies, and throughout my life I began to master some of the educational things. But I learned that a lot of that shit was bullshit and brainwashing for me. I had to find out, in my quest to find God, I learned a lot of stuff. And personal experience. Was a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout. I'm an exceptional person back when I was younger. And I have to tell you something. There's crystal technology, it's quark technology. There's no such thing as aging. What happens when the gray hairs, this is dying, this is death, this is not aging. I saw a girl who was in her 30s and she looked to be 65 or older or 70. She had wrinkles and I knew a lady who was 47 that she looked like she was 89 years old. It was death. Death does not exist. I mean, I'm sorry, death does exist. Maybe I'm losing my mind. But the human body, maybe I just told you the truth. You don't know. Maybe death doesn't exist. Maybe that's why I'm able to come back with full memory. And you can be like me and have total recall. Seriously. Seriously. Know who you are, what you are, and why you're here. Hypnosis is an absolute thing that they don't want you to know that exists. And I'm going to try to make it to 45 minutes here on this recording. I want to give you a little bit more knowledge about me. I was born in Knoxville, Tennessee, and a wonderful place. And when I came into the dome, I had full memory. I remember listening to people talk outside of my mother's womb. And when I was born, I remember wanting to let my mother know that I understood everything. And I can actually recall conversations to the detail of the room. Now I know in dealing with the subconscious, which if you're able to, into your brains, your conscious mind is able to interpret that data and transfer that data, you can get information about other things surrounding you that you've never experienced. And I just want to let you know this is not fake, this is real. You better wake up. Wake up. This is not bullshit. When you're watching television, not even your subconscious picks up radio transmissions and data. And sometimes, have you ever been able to feel the vibration of your cell phone before it actually vibrates? And the data is in the air. There is actual physical. It has physical property. It has a weight. It has even the spirit. They say 7 grams or something of the sort leaves the body when a person dies, and we have spirits that house our human body. Do the experiment I told you about. Rub your eyes in the complete darkness, and you can see the illumination of your eyeballs, and that's your spirit which lives inside your body. Ladies and gentlemen, what else? Very credible organization in the groups I've worked with. And like I say, I can't disclose a lot of things. I have a doctorate and have some licenses and skills and experience, and I specialize in an area, and it's not hypnosis, although I am really, really good with this, and I have a lot of experience with this because of the exposure and because of what happened and what's had been happening in my life. And it can be very scary because people like me, we do exist. And I've shown you examples how people can do things and not be aware of it. Why? Because part of the brain is sleeping, while the other part is taking advantage or taking the helm of running the show. And if a person is, sometimes people can recall. This is how they put people under hypnosis, to help recall things. And am I making this up, or you guys? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how it really is. You are dealing with quartz technology, and that technology needs to be questioned. You need to look. You need to go outside, look at the sun, pay attention to actual physical. Stop listening to what people. Just open your eyes and fucking pay attention. Wake up. Wake up. until I see where I am already, open your eye. Open your eye.